What's up? Respect. It's still me, the Elray Patrick. Welcome to the 150th sketch for this particular journey that I've been taking. It's really rewarding. And just to cut to the chase, here's how the 101st until the 149th look like. So just I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I just got this idea one random afternoon. I was watching PewDiePie and he posted a video of him just sketching every single day. And when I looked at it, I was like, that's something that I should really try and do. Mostly all of my sketches from what I've mentioned before in the other videos, from the 30th day to the 50th and the 100th, most of the things that I've been drawing for the past couple of years before I started with this journey are more on animated characters, straight lines, barely any shading, and then I learned how to do digital art at the same time. And basically, that was my way of being artistic in the way of digitalizing characters and sketching animated characters at the same time. So, really working on something different like this time around, like human beings, and really trying to draw them as they were. There are some glimpses of animated characters in here, and at the same time, some real people. By real people, like people that I know, myself included, and some characters that I really admire from artists because I want to also branch out. I realized that I've been drawing what I'm trying to say is I've been drawing Red Velvet way too much that people might think, am I that obsessed with them? It's just that it's difficult to find images that you would like to draw every day. And I really love using them as my muse to really practice sketching. So I really love Red Velvet in a way that I get to learn how to sketch them all together. So from time to time, I make sure that I get the balance of drawing them. The thing is, I'm not yet that gifted in terms of the skills because this is something that I'm just learning for the past 149 days. And for the 150th, what I decided to do is to draw one of my favorite actors of all time. And I actually miss watching her because it's been a while, really. Basically, I want to draw this time around is Peyton List. So I had a crush on her when I was young, when I was like 11 or 12, when I first watched Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I think it's the second one first, Roderick Rules, I think, when she was first introduced. And then the next one, is it Dog Days or something? I forgot the title, but those were my childhood or my teenage life, those two films in particular. So I even had a Twitter account before, and she actually followed me in there after me just constantly tweeting, please follow me back, please follow me back. So that was a core childhood memory of mine. And unfortunately, I had to give up that Twitter because I had to balance everything out. So it's quite unfortunate that I had to delete that very Twitter account that she follows. But I'm thankful that she managed to somewhat notice me for that 2 seconds of following me back. And I don't know, but it's really fun during that youth. It's all part of your youth, right? So now I want to somewhat give back and sketch her this time around. So I'll just try again more. I haven't really seen a lot of TV shows lately, so I haven't watched Cobra Kai. I just see her images sometimes on Instagram when I browse for a little. But yeah, so I just would like to try to give back to my youth and to my crush in a way, to draw her once again. As much as I want to do a commentary while sketching, it's kind of difficult for me still because there are times where my sketches last for 15 minutes. Some of them take 40 minutes sometimes when I'm really not in the mood. It's weird. When I'm not in the mood, it takes me that long. Like I really struggle fixing things. It's really frustrating at times, but I have to balance myself to not reach an hour when sketching. So that's the thing. So I'll do it now. So let's see how this one will go. I hope it goes well. The first sketch that I did for this next batch is actually one of my favorites already. I really love Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. So I decided to start off this next chapter with her. And I think this is one of my best sketches ever. I managed to not just draw her the way that I liked, but at the same time, work on the backgrounds also. So I really love this one. Really one of my favorites. I do not have anything to say about this one negatively. I really love how this one went. This one is CM Punk when he returned back in Survivor Series 2023, like the anniversary thing. I still have problems with the mouth. It's one of the things that I have dilemmas with. And with the nose here, I'm trying to learn how to make sure that I get to make someone's nose without strong lines and instead just with shading. So this is a really one of my ways to practicing that, especially with his hair also. This one is one of my favorite Irene sketches that I've made so far. I think of all my sketches of Irene, this one in particular looks a lot like her for me. So still have to improve the way this I sketch for the nose. I actually just used a few lines in here or shades compared to how I did it, especially with the lips too. So I'm learning in this one in particular. This one is Dua Lipa when she performed at Tiny Desk. I love how this one looked like. This is one of my dilemmas because it's way too small. So I really had problems with sketching the eyes, the nose, and the lips in this one. But it looked like an animated character version of her. So I still love this one in particular. But I wish I could have done it much bigger. But if I do it much bigger, I will have problems with how I will work on the grid. So that's one of the dilemmas that I had there. So next one is from what's this name? Scanner Darkly, one of my favorite scenes in particular. So they were riding on their way to a certain apartment, and it's one of my favorite scenes. I really just shaded like it's an animation kind of vibe. This is something that I will work on in the future for Traces of or Traces by Elray, where I will digitalize this particular image to somewhat get the idea of the full image that I'm trying to imply here. This one is also Irene from one of the promotion images from like a for like a flower. This one is okay. It doesn't look much like Irene, especially with my mistakes here in the nose and the lips part, because still have problems when sketching people when they're not like straight ahead. So it's a dilemma that I'm still practicing. This one is Wendy. I think I actually did well here, other than the lips and the nose. It's one of those things that I'm still getting used to. So I think I should have maximized the entire page for this one. I think that would have helped a lot. But without these two in particular, I think I did well. I really like the vibe that I was going here. I still have problems with teeth also. So those are the things that are pretty noticeable here that I have to work on. This one I really like. This is also 1D. So I decided to go on to like a somewhat cute version of her. I mean, she's cute, but like how do I put it in the word? Like a kawaii version of her. So that was the idea in this one in particular. This will be followed by Irene again. So I actually decided to redraw some of the scenes in particular in Bad Boy that I really like. So I did start this idea of sketching every single day back in 2021, but I wasn't really able to get my groove in it. So one of the first things that I ever drew was the Red Velvet Bad Boy promotional pictures. So this is Irene, and I like this one actually. I have nothing to say here. This is Joy. I like this one also. I think it went well here. This is Joy. I love this one in particular. Followed by Yeri. I think I did well here also. A little too small. Could have gone bigger here. I had dilemma with the nose here in particular. But other than that, I really did well here, I think. With Sugi too, I think I did make some problems with her nose here. But with the figure itself, I think I did better this time compared to the first time that I tried to draw this one. With Wendy in particular, the dilemma that I had is with how big I made the eyes and the nose and the lips. They weren't as proportional as I hoped they would be, but the overall vibe, I think it still fits and it still worked better compared to my previous sketch a few years back. So I'm really good with this one still. Then this is one of my colleagues back in the academe life, in first year in particular. She was my mentor, and she randomly commented on Facebook that I should try to draw her, but I do not know if she have seen this yet. So hi, the Brins. Also my colleague, not necessarily colleague, but college friend, Tin, who we used to play Dota with. So she's one of the boys who used to play Dota a lot, and we mess around a lot. So we're really good friends. And she also commented on TikTok, so I tried to draw her also. And of course, one of my biggest supporters, I think, one of my kids, one of my godchildren, Zeki. So this is like an animated version of him that I made. He's actually some of the ideas that I do on TikTok. I actually get it from him without him knowing. So all the stupid things I do there, please blame him. Anyway, this one is Sugi. I had problems with the eyes here in particular. I think it's pretty noticeable. I had problems with the proportion of it all, but other than that, everything looks good. So that's the thing that I have to practice: the proportion of the facial construction and so on. But this one in particular, this is Nina from Twice. I think I did well, but I think with the eyes and the shading, it's still something that I'm having troubles with. So it's like, where is she really looking at? So I think that's something that I have to really develop. But I still love the sketch overall. Really good, I think. The same thing as I mentioned with the eyes too. With the way I shaded it, it's like you don't know where Wendy is looking. But this is also one of my favorites. And we have here Taylor Swift. Now, I do not know if it looks okay or not. The problem that I had here is noticeably the lips. That's where I made the mistake. So I just tried to sketch Taylor Swift because I was listening a lot to her songs, specifically I Know Places. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. Now, this one, I think this one looked good. I really think this is one of my good drawings from the 150 journey. This is um, wait, what's her name? From Kiss of Life. Oh my god. This is from the Igloo video that they performed. Wait, I'm trying to remember her name. I'm blacking out. I know her. Wait. So one of the members, actually my favorite of them is Julie. There's Natty. There's Belle. Hanu. Hanu. Yeah, Hanu. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but yes. She really looks cool in here. There's also Wendy. I made mistakes with the nose here and the lips. It's pretty noticeable, but other than that, the overall vibe is good. Anyway, pretty much the same comments, right? Also here with Irene, I think it looks okay, but I'm having troubles with shading things and forming their nose, especially when the image that you're looking at is something where it's too bright. So it's hard to determine where to shade it properly. So that's the dilemma that I had here, which is similar with my sketch of Sugi, wherein I had problems with the eye this time around. But it was really one of those days where I'm like, oh my god, I made a mistake here. But even if I try to erase it, I do not know where to fix it. Now this one is Yeri. I actually like this drawing a lot. I think I could have improved a little with the spacing with the eyes, but other than that, really love this sketch a lot. Uh, Yeri is one of my favorite people to sketch. She has those vibe, the way she wears things. It's really cool. This is one of the animated characters that I drew, and it's none other than Onizuka from Great Teacher Onizuka. One of my favorite characters, the one who actually changed my life, work life a lot. So shout out to you, my guy. Then here's Sugi again. I love this vibe. I didn't go with the realistic vibe specifically here. I wanted to go with something like reminiscent of animation. So that's what I decided to go to for this one. So I really like how this one went. Now this is one of my favorites too. It really went well, I think. This is Wendy from one of her shoots, and I just feel like it's appropriate to make this one when she has a song called "Heart on the Window" with Jin. So I think it's really appropriate that she's by the window. So I really like how the vibe went well with this one in particular. One of my favorite sketches. This one actually, I think it looks good. I don't know. Am I glazing myself too much? This is House from House MD, and I have not watched any episodes of it. But when I'm really just like out of myself, I just watch on TikTok and I stumble upon House clips, and I just love him so much for that. So I have no plans on watching the series. I'm good with just watching clips on TikTok. I know him a lot because of that. This is one of my favorite sketches, but I don't know. I really love it. This one also is one of my favorites too, but I have problems with writing. It's one of my biggest problems. It's difficult to do the belt properly, so I go with an animated version instead. This is Kevin Owens. Really love the character that this guy is going through right now. And for Christmas, I did draw one of my favorite animated films of all time, Tokyo Godfather. So I really love this one. So I think I did well here. Even though there's problems with me doing the eyes, the nose, the face, and all that in particular, specifically with the small space that I have here, I think I managed to maximize that to still get the characters with this British style that I was trying to work on here. And I actually like this one. This is Leve Lofi. I'm just kidding. It's Leve from one of the images that I found that best represents when she performed the song Santa Baby, I think. I'm not sure, but this one is actually one of my favorites. This is Ray from I Am, one of my favorite TikTokers of all time. So I really do think that this one went well. I think if I have to comment on something, it's probably the nose. I'm still having struggles with making them pointy or something like that, but I think I did well with this one. One of my favorites. This one is Sugi too. I made a mistake with the notes again. That's one of my biggest problems actually, but I think this is pretty cool. She's pretty cute here. Oh, this one too. Their face, their faces is one of my problem here. I have to admit that I had struggles with it. But if you could erase the face here and just have it minimalistic, I think it goes well with the vibe I was going. This is from their live performance, Irene and Sugi. This one is Yeri. I actually like this one. I think maybe in the proportionality of the eyes, the nose, and the lips, that's a dilemma. But I actually like how this one went. I think it looks pretty cute. I think. Yo, of course, the King of Riz, Jose Rizal. I got to draw him for his birthday, so it's one of my favorites too. But it's not as detailed as some of my sketches. For day one, of course, I decided to color some things for a change. So this is from the album The Red. I've drawn it before and I just decided to do it again. It's kind of like a tradition of mine to draw it every day one. So here's my infinite amount of time try. And at the actual day one, that was for the 31st, but here I drew myself for 139. I have a particular reason as to why I drew myself here. That will be for another day. And this one is Wendy. My problem here is the nose, and other than that, I think it went well. Just that one. This is when she performed Like Water in BGC NYE at the fifth. I was there, so really cool. This is Joji. I think I made a mistake with making lines for the lips, but this is from the music video Run, one of my favorite songs ever. So this is Joji, a boy Filthy Frank. Now I think this one looks good. This is from Run Away With Me. Carly Rae Jepsen is one of my favorite pop artists of all time too. I really love that song, so I tried to look for an image that I can draw for her. This one is Yaji from ITZY. I made the mistake probably with the eyes here, but um, overall, I think it looks cool enough to get the vibe of Yaji. And this is actually one of my favorites, but other than the eyes, I think it's pretty cool because this is Yaji again, but with the dragons, the mother of dragons Yaji. So I really love this one. I really like that I got to do like this kind of vibe, cutesy vibe for this one. Here's Cena. Again, the sizes, how small they are, it's a dilemma for me. But just to start off the Last Time Is Now era, so I had to draw him for this one. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So let's go. This one is Yeri again. I think it's noticeable that the dilemma is with the eyes also here, but I think it went well. Other than that, so I really love Yeri here. Now I watched Bridge to Terabithia and read the book, so I finished both of those things at the same day. So I had to draw one of my favorite scenes in there. So it's weird how he looks different here, like in a different kind of art style, and how she looks like in a different art style. But somehow it fits the sketch and how the characters really are. So I'm good with this one too. Now, one of my favorite K-pop artists, without knowing much about their music, is Stephanie Young. She's really a fun personality to watch, and I really love some of her songs too. "Runaway" is a good song, and I love Girls' Generation. For the 149, I tried to do something different, which is basically the yacht by Harbor Square, which is an important part of my journeys in Manila. So it's something that I've seen for years. It's still there. May have been a different one, but still looks the same compared to the past sketches that I and someone else have drawn of it when I was there. So it's really a core memory of mine. So I got to visit it during that particular morning when I decided to jog all over Manila. And the 150th sketch is the one that I'm going to show you how I made. But other than that, just a quick spoiler that would be Peyton List. I want to show it here also. So I managed to wait. This Peyton List, one of my favorite actresses of all time. So when I decided to sketch this one for today, I was really thinking of the 150th should be special. So she's the first person that I thought of to sketch here. The dilemma that I have here, it's a black and white image in particular, and it's not really shading that good here. But overall, the vibe, I think it all went well here. And I think the nose is one of my dilemma as usual, but overall, I think this encompasses the skills that I've learned from the 101st to the 150th, and I'm just really proud of it. So the next 50 to the sketch a day 200, we'll see what other people or characters will be able to draw. So this is goodbye to this particular sketchbook because that's the end of it for him. For it. Yeah. One right here from her Instagram post, and this is how it looked like. So I think one of the dilemmas that I'm having is with the shading in particular, but I just really like that I managed to do this way. I think it looks good for me. So I'm really glad that I got to do this one in particular. So this is the 150th sketch that I have. So I decided to buy a much bigger sketchbook this time around so that I'll be able to really go into the details because it's one of those things that I had problems with during my previous sketches wherein it's a little small and I'm having troubles really getting it going. So I bought a much bigger one so I would be able to really dive in deep with my ideas and how I would like to sketch them. I'll also try to buy new pencils because I'm limited with just three pencils, three different strengths. I have a 5B, a 2H, and an HB. And I really have to maximize those three with the way I work with my hand in terms of how strong I would have to shade it or not. So it's something that I'm still learning, but I'm really proud of the journey so far. So if I were you, if you have an idea like this, whether it's sketching, writing, just go with it. Start with a day one, start small. Like I remember just sketching for the first day, just trying it out. Small one, I think it's the Wendy sketch that I did, which is I'm planning to redraw in the future, probably, so that just to see if I was really improving. Who knows, right? But yeah, I'm really glad that I did this thing. I'm really proud of myself for keeping it up. So I won't give this one up. It's something that I will continue doing and hopefully I'll get to do forever for as long as I live. I think there's no reason for me to stop now. I'm really enjoying it. No matter how tired I am, no matter how sick I am, it's noticeable with the way the sketches go, but I really love how it's gone so far. So yeah, thanks for those who somewhat saw it, somewhat happened to stumble upon it. So it really means a lot, especially when I get comments that, oh, this one looks cool. Even though at first I feel bad about those sketches, like, oh God, I made a lot of mistakes here. But I'm really glad that I decided to just put myself out there, put all of my sketches out there, no matter how bad or good they are for others. They were all great to me because they are somewhat a testament on how my day went, on how everything went. And some days are not yours, some days are yours for the taking. And I make sure that every day I just get to live. And once the opportunity arises, we'll see how we'll seize that one. But as for now, see, thank you for watching and peace out. Respect.